Hello guys, my name is Ahmed. In this C# video, we're going to start solving problems guys. This problem solving series will continue with easy problems, medium level problems and high level problem guys. It's going to be 3 parts and each part is going to be 4 parts in itself. So let's start with our first question. Before solving the question, I want to give an announcement guys. And that announcement is that I'm not going to solve the question as it ask me to solve like his ways. So basically these codes are called technically competitive coding, so it's going to want me to do some other stuff than actually solving the questions actual logic. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna focus on what he wants, then we're just gonna solve it in our way. So I just wanted to tell you that. Now let's begin with our first question. It says reverse the order of a string. So create a function that takes a string as its argument and returns the string in reversed order. Okay, it gives me an example. Actually, let me copy that example. Then start writing. What am I going to write first? I'm going to create a string variable, right? So we can put this value in it. So let's just say string words and assign this value there. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a method outside of this main method. So let's just create and say public static string is going to return us the reverse order of my word, and just say word again with a capital W and just say string word, because it's gonna take my string word variable from here. Then I'm just gonna write console write line, then call my method in this write line method here, write line function here. Let's just say word and word. Then of course I'm just gonna write console read line here. Then basically what did we just do? We created a string words variable, then we assigned some value, then we called our word method here and print that method's return value. Then we end the main command. So our main part is done. Let's move on to our word part, word method here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a char array guys. And why is that? Because I want to check every character in my string, so I can change the position of those characters and technically do the reverse array reverse. So I'm just gonna create a char array, then I'm gonna write word to char array. Why is that? Because my word here is a string, so I need to change it to char array. So basically what do I have now? I have this value in my char array. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to reverse this array. How am I going to do that? It's so easy guys. I'm just gonna write array and put a point and write reverse, and it's going to automatically reverse this array for me. And of course I need to write my array name in those parentheses. Then I need to return this char array. How am I going to return that char array? As you may notice, it's a char, but I want this to be, it needs to be a string, right? So I'm just gonna return it with new string type, and I'm just gonna write char array here. And we should be in clear. So let's execute our commands here. And as you can see, we reversed our string word here. It says hello world in reverse order guys. So okay, now let's move on to our next question. So for the next question, it says remove the first and last characters. Create a function that removes the first and last characters from a string. If the string is 2 or fewer characters long, return the string itself. Okay, easy. Let me just copy this value here, then move on to my code. Now I'm just gonna delete this, and actually I'm not gonna delete that, I can use that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my values from our last question. Then I'm just gonna come here. I need to check what now? I need to check if my word's length bigger than 2, right? Because what did it ask for us to do? If it's 2 or less, it's just going to return the word itself. Now I'm just gonna write if my word's length is bigger than 2, I'm gonna do the formula right now. I'm gonna delete my first and last words here, last characters here. But if it's not, I'm just gonna return my word. Okay, we are done with the else part. So let's continue with the if part. What can we do to delete first and last characters, guys? Think of it like that. If I come here and write the positions of these characters, let's just say 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you can see, if I start from first position, so basically E here, and end it with the third position, so basically L here, what I will get? I get the first and last character deleted from that string, right? So I can do that with substring method. So I'm just gonna assign this word to word substring, start with the position 1, then end with what? Let's just say this is the length 5, this has a length of 5, and what position does this L have? It basically have the position of the length of the word and -2, right? Because the last position of this character ends with the length -1, so the second last position of this character ends with length -2. So I'm just gonna write that. Word length -2. Then again I need to return my word. Okay, now we should be good. Let me execute my program here. Okay, we are getting E, L, and L, so H and O got deleted. Let's check it for a he. It should return he now. It shouldn't delete any characters. And as you can see, we are returning he right now. Okay, now let's move on to our next question. Now for our next question, it says recursion sum. Write a function that recursively finds the sum of the first and natural numbers. So the input and the input always will be positive. Okay, let me just copy this 12 here so I can get my examples from here. Now what I need to do, I need to delete these leftovers from our previous question. Now let me just delete all of this, and I can do what? I can just change this to int. I can write sum here. Then of course this is going to take integer value, so basically integer n value from here. Actually let's say int n first and assign the 12 value. This is our variable. This value can be changed. Let's just write that this value can be changed. And now what am I going to do? I'm just gonna print that and call that method in our console line command. So basically sum n. Then I'm just gonna write console read line. Okay, and this is going to take an int n as well. Now we are clear in our main method, so we are done with our main method. So let's continue with our int sum method. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually create an int sum variable again, so I can get those numbers sum. Let's just give this a 0. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a loop, right? Let's create a for loop so I can calculate the sum of the numbers until n, right? I can just calculate the e's. So let's just say int I equals 0, then I smaller than and equal then, because we are calculating the n as well, we are summing that, adding that n as well. Then plus plus, then what are we going to do? We're going to just add sum I. Now we should be in clear. Then of course I need to return the sum to my main method here. So let me just start my program, and as you can see we're getting the 72. And let's just put a smaller value so we can calculate. So 3, 1, 2, 3, it should be 6. And as you can see our result is 6, guys. So we are done with this question now. Let's move on to our next question. Okay, this is a long one. What does it say? FizzBuzz interview question. Create a function that takes a number as an argument and returns FizzBuzz or FizzBuzz. If the number is multiple of 3, the output should be fizz. If the number given is a multiple of 5, the output should be buzz. If the number given is a multiple of both 3 and 5, so basically 15, the output should be FizzBuzz. If the number is not a multiple of either 3 or 5, the number should be the output on its own as shown in the examples below. The output should always be a string, even if it's a multiple of. Oh, okay. So I need to return this as a string as well if it can't be divided by 3 or 5 or 15 as well. Okay. Now let's do this. Let's return to my code here. I don't need to change this. I can just change that because it's returning string always. And let's just left it with sum again. I can just delete all of this and I can reuse this again. Now, what do I need to do? First, I need to create a string variable so it can contain my string value. Let's just say string word for now. Now, what I need to do? I need to write some arguments for what? If my value can be divided by 3 or 5 or 15. So I need to check all of these numbers. So let's start with the 15 one. What am I going to do? I'm going to write my n remainder 15 if it's equals to 0. So can my n get divided by 15? I'm basically saying that. So let me just do this and write what? I think it was FizzBuzz. I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter anyway. So let's just write as if for the 5 parts. Let's just say I think it was fizz, and let's just say else if n remainder 3 if it is equals to 0, it's going to be buzz. If it's not equal to any of these arguments, it's going to be what word equals to my n. But and what, this n needs to be a string data type, right? Because it needs to be returning a string. Our method is a string method. How am I going to do that? If I just come here and put a point in here, you can see it says to string here. I'm just gonna click that and put my parentheses. Now I'm getting that n, integer n, as a string and assigning it to my word variable here. Then I just need to return my word. Then let's do what? Let's execute our command. And as you can see, I have the n3 here, so it gives me the value of buzz. Let's change it to 5. It gives me the fizz. Let's change it to 15. Again, it gives me the FizzBuzz again. Then let's just say like 4. It's going to give me a 4 as a string, of course. And as you can see, we are getting a 4 here, guys. Okay, guys, this is the end of this question. Let's move on to our next question.